at the speed you plan to be. Just about to hear it. Whoa. So that's
So
that is separate. That is
From the upper stage.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Core stage separated,
Yep.
and what a view.
So in other words, they don't need that fuel because the engines are done, right?
Yeah.
And now they're just with the second stage.
Miles, I mean, it seems that the most difficult part of getting to the moon, at least, has gone outstandingly well.
Yeah, this is at the top of the list of difficult things. There's more to come. There's a translunar injection, which is an important burn, which will get them a little further in an orbit that will get them to the moon. But what we saw there was just a perfect symphony of space, and I got to tell you, the percussion section
Yeah.
is pretty strong. And I will say, Pete Buntine, as your introduction as space correspondent, how you gonna top this one?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Mean, that was
Yeah.
pretty powerful and
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah,
It's nothing to shake a stick at. That's for sure. That was incredible.
But you know, not to get too schmaltzy or emotional, but I do in these moments. This is a great testament to what human beings can do together in a
Yes.
positive way. You know, we live in a world that's so fractured and so negative at times. You know, space gives us this opportunity to realize when we work together, we can do really great things if we want. And
Yeah.
what we just witnessed was truly great.
I had to take a few deep breaths as I was watching that because
Or not. I felt like I wasn't breathing. Yeah.
it's extremely emotional to watch this thing. It gives you a sense of the sublime and what is possible, right? I wonder
And I think
how it
when
made you feel.
when it really lifts off, there's this just visceral feeling of just knowing how many things have to go exactly right for those people to make it to space, which is then the safest
Right.
place. And it's hard to watch.
It is. It's
totally
nerve-wracking.
hard to watch.
At the same time, it is exhilarating, and Garrett Reisman has been standing by watching with us. Garrett, I'm sure that brought back some pleasant memories.
Sure did. Really happy to hear the words nominal, MECO, nominal orbital insertion. That all means that everything went exactly according to plan. This whole launch was actually incredibly smooth. The few problems that they were working were kind of run-of-the-mill, typical issues that go into any launch account. And I think, you know, this went, frankly, better than I expected. The first time that they strapped people into the rocket and were prepared to launch, off they went. It's a real testament to the hard work of thousands of people at NASA that made this all possible. And Reed is going to the freaking moon. I just think that's amazing.
That is outstanding. You were telling us just a minute ago that you were part of the process that selected him as an astronaut. For the folks on board Artemis 2 right now, as they've heard that everything has been a success, how do you imagine that they're processing that? What is going through their minds? Is it fully just a technical experience where they're focused on the next thing on the checklist? Do you even imagine that they're taking in what they've just experienced and the history that they're on the precipice of?
I'm sure a part of them is taken in, but as Miles pointed out, there's still a long way to go. There's several burns coming up that are going to raise first perigee and then raise apogee. So they're going to adjust the orbit. Those are all critical burns. They're still on the suborbital trajectory right now, actually. And then, you know, then they got to go do that translunar injection burn to really go off and head towards the moon. All those are critical. And then, of course, coming back, and the thing that I think is going to be the most significant or most concerning thing to pay attention is when they come back and re-enter the atmosphere. I think that's the part of this mission that we're all probably the most focused on or concerned about from a risk perspective. So there's still a long way to go, but the fact that they got up there and everything went so well, that's got to make them feel pretty exhilarated.
Yeah, no doubt. Taking off and landing, obviously the hardest part of any flight, right, Katie?
Yep. I remember feeling, I hadn't realized there wasn't, that I was worried about it, but once I got up on the space station, just realizing, okay, ascent is done. I'm glad that part is done, and now I get to be up here. I mean, the hardest parts really are, launch and landing, and especially, I think, for the families.
Of course, yeah, and so many of them watching on hand in person and absorbing the moment as we all did. And Pete, I see you're holding your model, and I'm sure you've got some
I'll send
expertise to
it
share.
Doris, man, it's like we've done this before.
Maybe last night too.
So yeah, maybe last night. Let's just review what we have seen. We